Very often, I am asked about three things. When will speech come? Potty training and school. Top three. When will speech come? When there are two ways. Either you just want him to immediately speak and you want to teach him a few words and sentences and ensure he speaks that correctly. There have been children who are doing that, and from that they try to develop some sentences, and that very often speech therapists work towards it, and they are able to achieve. But one of the things which is very essential for speech to grow later in life is motivation. Motivation to speak, a positive outlook in life, and happiness to engage. That is how speech develops in all children, and that is how it will develop even in autistic children. So if you want your child's speech to develop more and more, one of the first things I read the assessment reports of my children, but I make my own simple assessments. And one of the key things I check when a family comes in is, how happy is this child? And that's something I really try to work towards. I try to work towards making this child happy about life, happy about being in this world, happy about engaging with us and having a good time with us. And I feel that motivation is what very often converts to words and sentences and speech. So yes, you can teach him some words only when he is understanding nonverbal communication. And then he'll pick it up. He'll pick up the words in context. So what is that meaning of that? Okay, so in my own child's case, I've given this example very often that they taught him apple. He went for only 2 sessions of speech. And in that he learned apple and orange and something else. And then every time he sees an apple, he'll call me and show me apple. Sometimes even when I'm miserable. So I realized that they have taught him apple, and they've told him anywhere he sees apple, he has to tell us apple. So as long as it felt natural, I was happy. But at a certain point, it started feeling unnatural. Then I had to tell him, no, this is not the time. Please wait. I'm holding a baby. Baby's crying. This is not the time you need to tell me, Mommy, apple is there, and wait and pull me as long as I see it. No, that's not the way. So, speech has to come in context. Mommy, see apple. Wait, I'm coming. Give me a minute, please. I console my child, and then I say, you were saying something? And I'll say, and by then he would have forgotten usually. I would say, you were saying something, and he may get back to it, or we may have moved away from the apple and we may have missed it. And he may not be able to go back and recollect and tell me that there was apple there. Because when he sees apple, he's coached to say apple. But there was an apple there. Is it a completely different scenario, isn't it? He has to recollect, has to put it in context, try to understand why she's asking it now. So these are things which develop when you engage with the child and work with the child every day. You know how we do it? We present something and then, sometimes we just move it away. There is a very interesting game. You put a bunch of things, you show them those things, and then you put it in the bag, and then the child is supposed to feel it, and then what could it be, and then take it out, right? So these are also games in which speech can develop. But it has to be, the words should not be presented just as cards, just as book sentences. It has to be presented in context in different places, especially when the child is ready for learning. If the child is not in a learning path, I think speech is not the target. The target is for him to be happily engaging and learning things from us. When I say that, what do I mean? If I scribble in the paper and I give it to him, he looks at me and he's willing to engage. Only when engagement happens, I can move towards some kind of speech, isn't it? And usually, naturally, it comes. Like if I say, da ball, and then give it, he'll be like, oh, ball. It comes along context, like it comes for other children. And that's how you have to present speech. You cannot present it in a static manner.